Chapter 36. If you only knew how much I love you. I'm ready to get on my knees. Just let me love you, please. At least 100 times Kevin had stood outside Jenny's door the way he did now. At least 100 times he had pushed the small doorbell in plastic. Still, this time his hands were sweaty. This time it was different. He wasn't here as a friend. He was here as her next boyfriend. The problem was that she didn't know that, and he didn't know how to tell her. He plucked up courage and pushed the button. Too late, he realized that her parents would ask why he had brought a rose. A red rose. The florist had said that giving one single red rose meant I love you. The doors opened before Kevin could hide the rose behind his back. Ingmar smiled at Kevin and let him in. Looking at the rose, he asked if it was for Jenny. Kevin found it a somewhat silly question, but nodded. Ingmar paused while Kevin took off his shoes. Johanna and I are really grateful for the last time you were here. He put his hand on Kevin's shoulder. We didn't know what to say to her. Whatever you said then, it helped. She seems much better now. Kevin wanted to answer but couldn't come up with anything suitable, so he remained quiet. She's in her room studying. You can just go there. Kevin walked through the hallway he knew so well to her room. He held the rose so hard it hurt his hand, but he was unable to loosen the grip. Just when he was about to open the door, he had stepped back not to get it in his face when Jenny, with a school book at eye level, walked out of her room and collided with him. She looked surprised, but it didn't take long until she greeted him with a smile. Hi, I'm just going to pee. You can wait in my room. Kevin nodded. Even though he had grown up in Sweden, he didn't appreciate that Swedish habit, always telling what they were gonna do. Even private things like what you do in the toilet. He sat down on the only chair in Jenny's room, the one at her desk, and nervously twirled the rose between his hands. When she came back, she started talking as soon as she came into the room. I'm happy you're here. You can help me with my homework. I have a test on South America this week. Here. She tossed him a book and then threw herself on the bed, waiting for questions. Jenny, just say the name of the country and I'll tell you the capital and form of state. After a few moments of hesitation, he said, Brazil. Capital, Brasilia. Form of state, Federal Republic. Religion, Catholicism. It's the largest country in South America. The flag is blue, yellow and green. She went on to talk about the country's history, traditions and languages before eagerly saying, More! Next country! Jenny, next country! I didn't come here to examine you. No, I get that, but it won't take long. Can't you just... Jenny! With a surprised look on her face, she fell silent. She was finally listening, and then he found himself incapable of saying a single word. He just looked at her green eyes and felt his own heartbeat in his temples. Instead of talking, he gave her the rose. She looked at him with raised eyebrows. For me, a rose. Because I like you. Kevin mumbled, knowing as soon as he had said it that he had chickened out. He had used the wrong word, the easy way out. I'm such an idiot. Oh, how nice. You're still trying to comfort me. Thanks, pal. Jenny gave him a hug. It's not just because she interrupted him. Now he remembered how she used to be, impossible to stop. You don't have to worry. I'm not saying I'm over it. I'm not. But I've found a painkiller. He shook his head and opened his mouth, but still he could not utter a word. To study, Jenny continued. Studying really, really hard. It actually helps. When I concentrate on that, I don't have to think about him being gone. You can't possibly study any more than you already do. Oh, yes, I can, easily. I just learn more than what is in the books. I've even found errors in the school books in some cases. Look! She jumped out of bed to fetch something from a bookshelf. You don't have to show me. He didn't know how to get out of this situation. This was not how it was supposed to turn out. She was stubborn, as always, and when he was on his way home 2 hours later, all that had happened was that Jenny had put the rose in a vase and he had asked about all kinds of facts about South America. He cursed himself for his cowardice. This had to be done another way. He just had to figure out